We're Sara and Ryan, and we're being pushed to our physical limits.
And everything we're dealing with is super heavy.
And it's wearing on some of us more than others.
I'm gonna try not to have an emotional breakdown today.
We both stay focused as we enter a super important and potentially dangerous part of our build.
It's beam raising day.
Although it takes us a while to get started,
Wish we would have thought of that like 2 hours ago, because I feel like we wasted so much time.
we continue to push through the obstacles in our way
The whole morning was such a stress ball.
until finally we're able to step back and say,
Dang, we did that.
follow along as we raise the ridge beam for our future family home. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss a moment of the build.
Last you saw, we put half of that post up at the center prow, and then we kind of took a little break. We had a piece of equipment we had to go pick up, and now we have the second half of that prow front post to install. And it should go smoother this time because we've done it once.
We know what we're doing now. Like, I feel like we can still do everything we need to do. We're feeling overwhelmed. We're feeling stressed.
Yeah.
We have a lot of things keep popping up as obstacles in our way, and everything we're dealing with is super heavy and super tall or super long. So, and we have machinery to help us, but then like just the idea today, one of our big goals today is just to get the giant beam into the house site. But we're both really overwhelmed by that. And then raising it feels a little less overwhelming because we know how it's gonna go.
Well, and we have two lifts now, so we don't have to worry about that side-to-side sway of the beam. It's going to be captured on both sides, so we'll just crank it up in tandem, and once we get to the right level, we just back it into place, and
It'll be so
in.
easy.
So in.
And then
So easy.
so easy. And I'm gonna try not to have an emotional breakdown today. That's my goal. One goal. I'll probably have it. All right, here we go. Okay, idea number one. We are going to use logs that you just saw me bringing in a few and Ryan brought in a few to roll it. We will see. Are we using the tractor in this idea?
Not yet.
All right, just us. It is 625 pounds and it is 300 inches.
300 inches long.
300 inches long. So now you guys know what we're dealing with, because I feel like sometimes when you're watching video, you're like, that doesn't look that hard. It's just some wood. It's very, very heavy. Connect to these other guys. Hold on. Okay.
Now I think that one is impeding us
I
because
know.
it doesn't want to roll.
Yeah. And I don't know, we could lift and I could get this one back up here where it was.
Get a smaller one.
Because this one, it rolled on for a while and then it like dropped off the ledge finally.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see if we can do that. Like pull out that big one. I mean, I think we're getting pretty close to where we can pivot it.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay, so far so good. It's rolling on the logs the way we want it to, and we've got it at a point now where we're gonna pivot it to try to get it in right here, and it'll go in through the front door.
So we could try a couple of things. You could stand on that end,
Okay.
and I could pivot,
Okay.
or we could both try to lift from over here.
I don't know. What do you think is easier?
I don't know. Why don't you try standing on it?
Am I gonna fall?
I don't think so. At the very end. One, two, three. We'll get it on this one.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Ugh. Got stopped on a rock. 1, 2, 3.
Ready?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Oh my God.
What are you trying to do?
I put it down, but maybe we just want to leave it, and then I can bring the tractor in.
Okay. Okay, we are at the point where we can get the beam into the house. As you saw, we weren't able to lift it in all by ourselves. So Ryan's gonna go get the tractor. Only reason we haven't used the tractor this whole time is this beam is over its weight capacity with the forks, and it's way too long. So, and we also haven't used the man lift because this beam is over the capacity as well. But we are going to just use the forks as a leverage point now to just lift it that last little bit in. And we have the material lift right behind, so hopefully we'll grab onto that. And then we can push with the tractor, and I can pull with the material lift, and we will be in the house. Yeah.
There's part of me that just wants to just leave it, like take it off of the material lift now and just be like, okay, we got it here. And then use the material lift for the post, and then we can come back.
Okay. We got the beam where we want it for right now because we started chatting and we were talking about how like once the beam's in here we can't really get the column up because it's going to take up a lot of space. So we're going to shift gears now and get the column up, and then the beam will be ready for us to bring in, and we can have time to get the other material lift in and all that stuff. So
And with the beam in here, it would have just been harder to move the equipment around, and I think it would have been creating unnecessary work for us.
So right now, I think we're all set with where we want the beam to be for moving. I feel like the logway worked pretty good.
Yeah.
And I did not think it was going to. We had talked about using our truck or the trailer. We had talked about using a number of different ways to do it. So I'm really glad it worked. And we're done with that step.
All right, column.
Okay, column now. We have the second column going up behind me. Ryan is lifting it right now on the material lift, and then when we get it to a certain height, I'll take his place on the material lift, and then he'll go into the man lift, and we'll both be working from each spot then. I don't remember you being that far back last time, but that's probably where you were. Okay.
I'm gonna pull on it, and then you're gonna push forward.
Okay. We got that post all set up. Once we got it all into place, we started looking at it and we realized that the whole post, when those two pieces came together, are not meeting up with the peak of our house. And at first we were kind of like, oh, that's okay. We'll just have to fix that other side when we do it. But then we started realizing that if those two posts aren't lining up in the center, then that means our beam isn't going to line up in the complete center of that post. And we really need that for support. So,
and it'll mess up our prow front framing.
it'll mess up a whole bunch of stuff. Our plan is to take the last post off that we just put on. And we already took out the big screws that we used on it. And now Ryan's going to disconnect it and then connect it to the man lift. If we are totally uncomfortable with that, we have the material lift in place right behind him, super close to where we can just then put that column there. Then we have to scoot it away far enough so that I can go in and get the longer screws that are holding it in place to the prow front framing. So then after he gets it far enough out, I will go in and disconnect those screws. Then we're going to put both of those posts together, and then we're going to move them to the correct spot, get them secured, and they'll be all set.
All right, one's out. I think this is the last one. Okay. Yep, that's secured nicely.
I'm gonna have to pound it in now.
Okay.
But I have to unstrap this one.
Okay.
Okay. We have those two posts connected together now. So now we're gonna be working to get them both into place so they're right in the center of our peak. Check a 2x4.
Yeah.
All right, we got the post all fixed. We're really happy with the placement of it now.
Super happy.
And it went a lot easier than we expected, the fix. So we did have to use the material lift. I'm glad we had a backup plan in place, but it's done. So we're gonna try to finish one more thing tonight. We're gonna try to get the second material lift in place and get our beam onto the floor. So tomorrow morning we can wake up and raise the beam and be done with this part of the project.
Yeah, then it's party time.
Yeah. Today is the day.
It's beam raising day.
It is beam raising day.
We may have overthought this a little bit, but we wanted to be as careful as we could. So we have 2 material lifts here. We've done everything we can up to this point to get it ready.
Yeah.
And really we just have to put the second material lift in place and raise it up.
So we have it in place. You saw us yesterday bring it up to the doorway of the house. And then after we were done raising the big column, we got the rest of the beam into the house. So it is right behind us on the ground here. And we're going to put it up on 2 material lifts. We're having a little bit of debate on if it should be a material lift coming at it from opposite directions. So we'll get to see which way we go. And then we're gonna raise it up. There's a little breeze today, which never happens up on our property,
Yeah.
but it's happening on the day we're gonna raise the beam. But I keep telling myself the beam is 625 pounds. Wind isn't doing anything. So, and we have our column where we want it. We have our other column where we want it. We just have to raise it up, and Ryan will go up on the man lift and secure it, and we're done.
Done. Go towards me at some point.
I've almost cleared this. It's rotating on your forks really bad. Okay, I'm almost to the column. Okay. Ryan is behind me taking the T-brace off of the side that we have it on for this shorter beam that's above our loft. We're doing that because we need to be able to access this column from this side. So he's gonna take this one off and put the other one on the other side so it's still braced. When we have both beams in place, we'll get both of them on and we'll finally be totally secured. You want me to grab that?
Please.
You want me to be scared? No.
We need a third material lift.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Slip. Did you slip?
No, but our brakes roll.
We are a little stuck right now, and the beam hasn't even left the ground. We have it flipped longwise right now, so it's laying basically sideways, and we need to get it flipped up onto the skinnier side, because when it goes up, that's the way it would be in the house, right? So we have tried using leverage, and that's not working, and Ryan's getting a jack, and we're gonna try that. Will be the top. Almost there. Woo! Well, we should have just gotten that out.
I didn't have it.
Let's try to be cavemen and do it like the Egyptians. Two different people. Okay, we tried everything we could think of, and then Ryan finally said, why don't we try that 2x4 jack that just came yesterday? And we got it with the intention of raising the other prow front wall or anything else that we feel like we need help with, and it worked perfectly. So wish we would have thought of that like 2 hours ago, because I feel like we wasted so much time. But now we've got it set the right way. We're gonna strap them onto each material lift and then raise them up.
Okay, do you want to lock it? And I'm still on the brace.
Okay.
All right, so we're going that way.
Yep.
You have about 2 inches, you're above the beam.
2 inches above, so I need to lower?
Yeah. Okay, good.
All right, we were a little worried that this would happen. The prow front opening for our beam is not quite tall enough. So Ryan is cutting a notch into the prow front framing so we can slide the beam in. And I'm gonna get back to my material lift. We are set. Ryan got that notch cut and we're all in place. So I'm gonna drop down my material lift as far as I can before we have to take that strap off.
Perfect.
Yes! Woo! We're unstrapped from one material lift. Ryan checked level and we're level. And now we're gonna see if Ryan can reach this other material lift with the boom lift, but otherwise our beam is set. How do you feel about having the thing set?
I don't even know.
Sorry, I'm
The whole morning was such a stress ball. I feel good. I want to get the things on, and then,
Yeah.
then I'll feel better.
That's what I was thinking. Get the other thing on. Get all the correct screws in place up there.
And then I'm like, I don't know when I'm gonna do the through bolts.
Okay, last you saw us, we were raising the beam and we got done with that, and then Ryan put in the correct through bolts that connected it all, and we called it a night. So we're back at it today, but we had to come on here and just talk about raising the beam that is now above us. It was a wild experience. Like, I felt like raising big beam, once we got it into place, once it was where it needed to be, wasn't as scary as the loft beam. Probably
Yeah.
because we'd done it before. And also because we had two material lifts.
Yeah.
The hardest part was getting it onto the forks and figuring out how to rotate it. And then Ryan had to go cut the notch in the prow front, and that was like stressful for him.
It was okay.
But we got it all figured out, and it's amazing. It's amazing what happens, and I keep saying through this whole process, like the days feel so long, and then all of a sudden you look and you're like, oh my God, but we've got a house is coming into shape in like, what, 2 months?
Yeah. The thing that was hardest about the beam was that there was so much buildup to it. Like we had been working and preparing to set the beam for a week and a half. Ever since Cameron was here, we were pushing to get there, and we finally had agreed and realized that we needed 2 material lifts.
Yeah.
We didn't want to try to do it with one. It wasn't going to be safe. So then we had to rent it and we had to pick it up and we had to then get everything in place so that it was ready. So as happens, everything takes longer than we think it's going to. So it was a weird feeling when we got done because we got it up there, it was all ready, but then we still had all the securing to do. And so it's like we didn't get like a full chance to like celebrate.
Yeah. And now it's like the chance has been just getting to come out and look at it and be like, dang, we did that.
Yeah.
So
Big beam going 21 feet in the air. So
that's where we're going to leave you for this episode. If you guys enjoy these episodes, please hit the like button and hit subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you on the next one.
bye.
Bye.